most people fall off of whatever they do. You guys know that, right? Most people, on average, fall off when they put their mind to something. That's why there's an exceptional group called the 1% in the world that really goes above the bar and it's more successful than everyone else. And one of the main traits of the very successful people is that they don't quit. It's so important. And it doesn't even matter what you can look at all the successful people, right? And everybody has different, it's not even what kind of line of work you're in, right? There's not just like one line of work that's successful. Almost every line of work you could be successful in, right? If you don't quit. Once you put your mind to something and you get involved with something, if you don't quit, you're in the group that might possibly be very successful at it. Now, what made me think about this a little bit is, I do mentoring. I've talked with a few people recently, about their plans in their life right now and over the next 6 months and going into the future and stuff like that. And I was sitting down with Justin in particular recently, and we were going over a 6-month plan, right? So he has a 6-month plan of all kinds of different awesome goals, right? You guys hear me say it all the time, like you guys should do this, like you should write this down, you should make some plans, you should, well, Justin's actually doing it. So everybody give Justin a hand. So he's actually got this stuff written down, right? A 6-month plan covering all kinds of stuff. Faith, fitness, diet, finances, just all these different goals. And when I was talking to Justin, it was like a revelation I was getting, right? Because I was looking at this 6-month plan that he's making, and I was basically seeing the end result. You understand what I'm saying? I'm seeing the end result. So I'm like, okay, if Justin does all of these things that he's got written down right here on this paper, in 6 months, this is what Justin's going to look like, right? He's going to be in this kind of shape. He's going to have this much money. He's going to be driving this, doing this. It's so amazing. I mean, literally, right? But it's all about getting from point A to point B. And Justin was honest enough with me to talk to me about it, and he even told me, hey, I've struggled in the past with sticking with things when I say I'm going to do something, right? And we don't got to give Justin a hard time about that because almost everybody's had a hard time in their life with sticking with things that we say, right? And so when me and Justin were talking, I was basically telling him, like, man, literally all you got to do is just not quit. Is just do all of these things, right? Every single day, whatever the next goal is, and you're going to get the result that you're working for. Great? Thanks for being a volunteer in that, Justin. I know you didn't know I was going to talk about you, but give Justin one more hand. So using Justin as an example, well, let's think about everyone, right? Let's think about everybody in the room and goals that you may have, okay? And you make a commitment. That's why a commitment is so important, right? I don't know if you guys know, but the HSU house, they got to sign a 6-month commitment to even be in the HSU house. Why do we do that? Because commitment's important, right? We want people that are actually wanting to work on their lives and really level up and do a great job. So we need a commitment in that. But even in this job, even though you don't sign something saying you're going to work here for a year or two, I talk to you guys about it a lot, that it's really important that you see yourself here long term, right? It's really important that when you come to this job, you realize that this is the type of job that's not just a job, but it's really more like a career opportunity, okay? Let me explain to you what I mean. I'm going to use a couple different examples because we all know these examples and we've heard about them in society and stuff. But I've talked about this before. So let's think about school as one example, right? I don't know if anybody's been to college. Everybody could go to college if they really wanted to in this country. There's funding and ways you can get in. So what is it? What is it with college though? Even in college, what do they want? A commitment, right? When you come to a college, you got to commit saying you're going to be there for what, 4 years on average. Sometimes you could have a lesser degree in 2 years, but if you really want to succeed, you got to be there at least 4 years, right? And people that can make a longer commitment, what do they get out of it? A better degree, right? So you go to college, you make a 4-year commitment, you get the regular degree. Was it a bachelor's? But if you stay for what, 8 years? Isn't that what doctors do? Like 8 years, masters, right? So really, the longer the commitment you make, the better result you can get, right? But think about college, you guys. When you go to college, first of all, you have to pay to go to college, right? When you go to college, you have to pay money to go there, right? You got to commit yourself. You got to get approved for some funding. You got to pay a lot of money. You got to sacrifice. You got to leave your hometown where you grow up, usually, and go away to a different city, right? Tell your family, see you later. I won't be around for years. I'll be home in the summer, but other than that, don't count on seeing me much because I'm at school, right? So boom, you go to school and you study nonstop, right? You dedicate yourself. But why are you doing all that? Because you're trying to work towards the goal, right? The goal is to get the degree. Think of all the sacrifice that's involved, though. You got to not be around your family. You got to basically, not only do you pay money, but you don't make a whole lot of money while you're in college either, right? If you do work, you don't have much time to work, so you're not making very much money. So think about the commitment that goes into it when you go to college. Not only are you not making much money, but you also have to pay money, and you have to make all kinds of sacrifices for what? A possibility that you might follow through, for one, because not everybody follows through. And then a possibility that you might get a degree that you might be able to make some money with. Is it a guarantee? Does anybody ever guarantee they're going to make anybody? They tell you that up front. There ain't no guarantees. You can get the degree, but it'll be up to you to actually do something with the degree, right? Then they spend 4 years in college. And then what? What do they get out of college with? A degree and a bunch of debt. Right or wrong? Right. Okay, cool. Now check this out. Let me give you another one as an example. The military, right? We all hear about the military. So in the military, what is it? Same type of thing, right? Commitment. You get recruited, you go sit down with a recruiter. You got to make a commitment for how long you're going to be there. Who's been in the military? Anybody in here? That's how it works, right? You got to make a commitment. You're going to be there for this long. Now, how does that commitment work? Isn't it the same way? The longer you're willing to commit yourself, the better rank you can reach, right? Okay, cool. You got to make a decision up front. You're going to dedicate yourself, but look at everything that goes into it. First of all, depending on what branch of the military you go to, the first thing they're going to do is test you, right? College too, right? You show up, you get tested, they find out where you currently are, right? With your smarts, with your education, with your fitness, right? How fit are you? Let's figure out if you fit the status quo. Then what? You got to sign, make the commitment, and then if you follow through and don't get killed in the military, right? I mean, you might not even make it to the rank you're trying to reach because you're literally putting your life on the line, right? So you got to make a commitment. Look at all the sacrifice that goes into it, you guys. You got to go away from your family again, right? Same thing with college. You got to make a commitment for the next 4 years or however many years I'm dedicated to the military, right? Bye, family. See you later. You won't see me much. Only when I'm able to come home and visit a little bit, right? Hoping that you might turn it into something, right? So I'm using those two examples because we all understand those examples. Let me tell you guys right now, I'm trying to teach you something because direct sales, in my opinion, is way better than both of those. Way better opportunity than college, way better opportunity than the military. And I ain't trying to knock nobody that goes to the military for the real reasons of sticking up for the country and being a man of, warrior mindset. That's something to be honored and it deserves honor. But what I'm trying to say is the dedication, right? So you come to Headed Straight Up, right? Listen, if people go to college and make a dedication, and people go to the military and make a dedication, right? I don't think I'm too crazy to tell you when you show up at Headed Straight Up to dedicate yourself, right? And look at what we're offering you. Okay, so we're basically saying you come here, you're gonna learn, right? What we're offering here is a long-term opportunity where you can learn, challenge yourself, become better, study, become more knowledgeable in business and sales and all the stuff. Look at all the stuff we practice here. Things that can improve your life, your family, your fitness. Look at it, the opportunity, right? You devote yourself. Look, but this is the kicker. This is the kicker. Some things in business take time to achieve. Do you understand what I'm saying? People get discouraged. They go get a job, and then if it didn't turn into something in 6 months, maybe this wasn't for me. Yes, it is. How about make a real commitment? Think about it. When somebody goes to college, they don't get everything they went for in 6 months. They don't get everything they went for in 6 months in the military either. There's not a lot of things in life you're going to hit the jackpot in 6 months. But people that actually stick with things and make a commitment and don't quit are the ones that can be successful at anything. You understand what I'm saying, Bob?
We pay you to go to school at HSC.
Facts. We pay you. You get paid here, right? Do you guys understand that the knowledge that you pick up at this office is stuff that people would pay thousands of dollars for? You guys don't pay nothing for it. You earn it by going to work and being a part of the company, and you deserve it. You work hard for this company, so I want to give you my best just like you give me your best. But it's a lot of good stuff that you're learning for nothing. You're not having to pay anything. You didn't have to take out a loan to come get this job. You didn't have to buy no inventory when you got here. This is a great opportunity, you guys. What you're able to achieve here at this company is uncomparable with other opportunities. It really is. Let me show you something. So I put some sayings down. Okay, so listen to this. Most people fail because they give up what they want most for what they want now. Listen to that. Most people fail because they give up what they want most for what they want now. Right? Looking at the example of me and Justin sitting down and looking at his 6 months goals. Right? What kind of stuff could knock somebody off of a 6-month plan? Deciding to not do it because they'd rather do something else to get something now could be one of the things, right? Oh man, that seems too far away. 4 more months, 5 more months, gosh, I'd just rather be lazy and go eat pie right now and kick it, Forget all that hard work. I'm saying people think about stuff trading what they could get by working really hard. They trade that for something comforting right now. You understand what I'm saying? So looking at that in the scope of our opportunity here, think about the type of dedication you should be making. And think about the mindset you got to have. Listen, it sounds all good when you're making the plan. it's fun actually to say what you're gonna do. Think about it. It's so fun to say what you're gonna do, right? Why is it so fun? Because you're not doing it at the moment. You're just saying it. It's awesome. We have the ability to make plans and use our imagination and create these amazing pictures in our head of what outcomes could be. Think about it. And we can say, oh, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go do that, and this is going to happen, right? But where do people fall off in the process of following through on the plan? We've all done it, you guys. Nobody's any better than nobody on that. We've all said we're going to do something before and then not followed through. But listen, we got to stop doing that. If we really want to be successful, we got to stop quitting things. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever you're putting your mind to, you need to follow through on it. Don't let 2024 be the year that you said you were going to do something and didn't do it. You might have did that in 2023 or 2022 or 2020 or 2019 or whatever. But you don't have to do it in 2024. This can be the year that you actually follow through on what you say you're going to do. Make some plans. Make some plans of what you could achieve and then actually stick with it. This is what happens, you guys. Our flesh, for whatever the reason is, let's go through some reasons, right? We make a commitment on something, right? And then what happens is we think of some bright idea. Listen to me. This is how the enemy gets us off course. We think of some bright idea, and then we decide to go do something else without even admitting to ourselves that we're quitting. We're basically, do you understand what I'm saying? We basically will give up on the whole plan because we changed our mind. Listen to what I'm saying. Think a lot of times when people quit, I've been thinking recently. Oh, you've been thinking recently? Yeah, I've been thinking recently. And I was thinking I might go do this instead. Right? Well, wait a minute. You said you were going to do this, and this. Yeah, but this other thing. Listen to what I'm saying. How many times has that happened in our lives, guys? Right? We don't follow through on what we say, and we cop out by just saying we changed our mind. Think about it. We cop out by saying, oh, I changed my mind. But it's actually, you didn't just change your mind. You're quitting. You're quitting because you said you were going to do something else. So if you change your mind, that's not just changing your mind. That's backing out on your word of what you told yourself you were going to do. I was looking at it and I'm thinking about the quitting concept. And I'm like, that happens a lot. Somebody will come in, they'll be like, yeah, I'm your guy. I'll be here long term. I'm going to do all the right stuff, blah, 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 right? And then they change their mind. What the heck? And then what, you think it's going to be any different when you get to the next place and you've been there 3 months and you don't think you're going to change your mind again? Probably. Why is that? Because it's a character defect. It's something that stops people from being successful. People put their minds to something and then they change their mind. No, you didn't just change your mind. You quit. You quit because you said you were going to do this, this, and this. But we don't ever own it when that happens. Well, oh yeah, I just decided to do something different. Yeah, but if you look at it like that, think about how many times you're going to fail in life. When you make a commitment to something, you got to stick to it and actually follow through. Listen. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Success, listen, you guys, it is like the number one thing that stops people from being successful is quitting. Seriously. It's the number one thing that stops people from being successful. Quitting. Think about that. how much more successful people would be if they just stuck with what they're doing and didn't quit. Think about it. All the really successful people in this world are people that are really talented at something. But how do you think they got talented at something? Because they did it so long and never quit.
That's right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? They stuck with that thing. That's how they got that good. All the successful people are really good at something. And the something they're good at is because they didn't stop doing that thing. They kept doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Look at anybody successful. You're going to find that people that stick with something, whatever it is, they can be successful. But people that don't stick with stuff are not successful most of the time, right? And then you got people that are above the bar and can do multiple things. I'm not saying people are, you got people that are successful in multiple different avenues, but they're still not quitters. They still follow through on the things they do. So think about that. Listen, just do a review real quick of the past 10 years of your life. Have you been a quitter? Think about it. I'm sure most of us have. I'm sure most of us at different times over the past 10 years probably could have did better at something if we just would have kept going and not quit. Right? Or not messed up the situation. I know that's another one, right? Same thing though. Sometimes people self-sabotage. That's quitting too. Self-sabotage is quitting too. Some people are not used to being successful, so once they start getting real good at something, they'll self-sabotage. They'll self-sabotage because they ain't used to being successful. There's a lot of times that something will start going really good for somebody, and they're uncomfortable with life like that because it never went that way before. So they'll either self-sabotage or quit. I'm trying to prepare our minds here to stay committed, you guys. You understand what I mean? Listen, you might not believe it, but there's times where I thought about quitting. Why is that? Because that's the flesh. The flesh is always trying to back out of stuff. The flesh is always trying to find something else and back out of what we say we're going to do. I have to practice that even with my fitness routine. Heck, I think all the time about not doing that, right? But mindset, mind over matter is do it anyways. Keep going. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, staying committed and not quitting is really going to give you a better chance of success. How are you ever going to be successful if you don't make your mark somewhere? And how are you going to make your mark somewhere if you stop before you make the mark? Think about it. This is kind of a revelation I was getting. But here at Headed Straight Up, there's going to be some people, listen, I believe there's going to be some people that stick with this 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever the number is. And there's going to be levels of blessing that comes out of it. Now look, I'm a company owner, so I'm looking at it in perspective of helping other people be successful. And I'm telling you right now, and I'm not the only company owner in the world, there's millions of them. But in my heart and my mind, I'm literally ready to bless the people that stick with it and are committed the most. And if I'm like that, you can almost bet your bottom dollar that most leaders are like that. They're ready to bless the people that put in the most work.